President Joe Biden is trying to one-up Hillary after referring to himself as the, quote, poorest man in Congress. He said this.
Don't hold it against me that I don't own a single stock or bond. Don't hold it. I have no savings account. But I get a great pension and I get a good salary.
Poor guy. To our Fox Biz All-Stars, Scott, Hadley, and Lauren. Lauren, poor guy. I mean, come on. Who is he kidding?
He's clueless. He's not bragging that he's not uber rich. I mean, what kind of person do you want helping to run this country, in fact, if he doesn't have a savings account? That's clueless.
And, Scott, I'm sure you got about 100 times more than he. You're a very successful business person.
Apparently.
You pretty much run the Chicago Stock Exchange from what I hear. But the fact is you don't go around bashing capitalism the way some of these Democrats do. It's the hypocrisy that gets to me.
Well, David, I think it's the message that they're trying to get out where, you know, it's similar to the conversation you had with Lachlan about Hillary and Bill. I mean, they're trying to kind of make themselves like everybody else when they aren't. I mean, even Chelsea Clinton, David, in the last couple of days came out and said she doesn't care about money. She tried to care about money on a fundamental level and doesn't, yet she has an $11 million apartment in New York City, which I love, by the way, Chelsea. Still, you do care about money. I mean, David, that's how they're trying to get these votes. You know, you mentioned the book tour is about going out and doing a de facto type of, say, campaign. They want to get the votes by saying, hey, I don't have much money either. You know, I picked myself from my bootstraps up, too, because I want your vote. I'm just like you.
Yeah, and Hadley, unlike Mitt Romney, these folks are lifetime moochers, pretty much. I mean, Hillary, of course, had an experience with a law firm that she would rather forget because they, among other things, had some billing record problems. But the fact is they're lifetime moochers. These are people that mooch off the taxpayers. That's how they get money in the first place. They continue to mooch off taxpayers, and they use that as capital, as intellectual capital, to help them make money in the private sector.
Well, sadly, this is pure and simple identity politics. It is, as Scott said, they're just trying to prove that they're one of us. But liberals in this country have been trying to fuel an us versus them mentality across the board, whether it's gender or race or wealth inequalities. And I have no problem with Hillary Clinton being a wealthy person or Joe Biden being a wealthy person. God bless them. I'm happy for them. But
own it. Yeah.
To fuel the wealth envy, that is what identity politics is, and that's where they're looking to capitalize.
And Lauren, I have to admit, I do have a problem with people who spend their life supposedly as public servants, sacrificing their personal life and fortune for the people, and then, you know, turn around and do speeches for $100,000 a pop. And again, I have no problem making money, but what I have a problem with is when you're supposed to be a public servant.
Right.
You know?
And in Hillary's case, after she made her major gaffe, we were dead broke when we left the White House. Did you see what she told the Guardian newspaper? Well, we're not truly well off. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And Scott, again, it's just this hypocrisy that gets me more than anything else. If you want to be a public servant, first of all, I'm for term limits. I don't think you should be in there long enough so you can create political and intellectual capital that you can turn into millions when you get out of office.
Well, she did a great job of that, and Bill did, too. I mean, here's the thing, though. I think, like Lauren said, you got to own it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with coming out and saying, hey, you like being capitalistic, you like money. I mean, that's something that actually Americans would aspire to, David. You know, that's what's good for this economy, and they're trying to dissuade it, yet they're actually hoarding it.
Right. All right. Well, we'll see how long they get away with it. Thank you, gang. Last week, Murray Energy